Hey all, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video I'm going to work on this vintage vanity and turn them into nightstand. This is from the 1800s from the original owners, but you see there was no mirror, so I decided I could save it and turn that into nightstands. So I unscrewed the different attachments, took off the bolts which were on the base to take apart the two nightstands. It was simple and I could get these gorgeous nightstands out of this vanity. Now comes the prep part. I started with the wood filler, filling in those holes, which was important because now they will be visible. Then these details from the feet had fallen off, so I glued them back using the wood glue and they were just perfect. So we start by removing the hardware, and then comes the interesting part, which is stripping and sanding. A lot of sanding. So here are the nightstands, and we will begin to strip it. For stripping, I'm using Strip Well, which is an eco-friendly paint stripper. You can remove stain as well. As you can see, you just spray it on the furniture and let it sit for about 10 minutes. So I came back after 10 minutes and I could remove the stain very easily from these nightstands. So once I stripped them, I cleaned it with water, let it dry, and then I began sanding. For this I'm using the surf prep sander, which is attached to my shop vac, so all the dust is getting collected there. You are not seeing any dust flying out here because of that reason. So I sanded these two nightstands completely to expose the gorgeous vintage wood underneath. So after a lot of sanding, I had these two gorgeous nightstands. I didn't like the wood colors, so I decided to do some gray wash. For this I'm using mud paint smoke mixed with water, and the mixture is kind of very runny, very thin, so that it's easy to apply and wipe off. So for this you will need a paintbrush, some paper towel, and let's begin to do the wash. To do the paint wash, I applied the paint on the nightstand, covering the wood grain completely, and working in the small sections because sometimes the parts of the wood are porous and they will soak up the paint immediately. And then I wiped it back with a paper towel. So wipe as much as you want the paint to show off. I try to wipe up as much as I can so that I just have the little bit of paint there, not too much. So I did the paint wash on the top, front and sides. Now comes the interesting part, which is making the molds. I'm using amazing cast resin, and I'm showing you the process on how I made the molds. The instructions are there on the box so that you can follow and make your own molds. So this is the lavender mold that I chose for these nightstands because I will be pairing it with the transfer, and they were perfect addition to it. So the molds come out white, and I decided to paint them in mud paint, eggplant, and lilac to give them the colors of lavender. To glue them, I'm using Gorilla Wood glue, and it's simple and easy. You can just put the glue on the back and glue those molds onto the furniture or the surface that you want to apply on. Once the molds dry, they harden, so in order to make them soft, you have to use a heat gun or a blow dryer to make them soft, and then you can cut them using the crafts knife. It's simple and easy, but it's time consuming. So I had these pieces out, I cut them again and glued them back on the other part of the nightstand. I paired it with this gorgeous transfer from Redesign with Prima. I cut it out and I just formed a design that blends in well with the molds. And some decor wax to give a blinch, a hint of gold to mute down the color of the molds. I used this decor wax from Redesign with Prima. As you see, I didn't sand these legs because I knew I could preserve them, so I'm using this oil-based wax and a gel stain mixed together. It's my wax stain technique that I call. They're both oil-based, so you just take both of them together and rub it on the surface to restore any vintage or old furniture, and it just gives a fabulous look to it. And I highlighted all the details with the decor wax. Again, it's oil-based, so it just worked wonders on these feet. I wanted to do something different on the top, so I decided to give it a texture using some fiber paste and paint and this stencil. So I did some detailing on the top, which looks gorgeous in this lilac color. Since the fiber paste is coarse, it's rough, so you need to sand it down for a smooth finish before you paint over it or you even seal it. So I decided to give a second coat of paint wash in the same color because you can see there is some exposed wood. So I gave a nice paint wash on the top as well, blending in the stencil and giving the paint wash to the top. And then finally sealing it in mud paint clear coat. I sealed the base, the molds, the paint, the top, everything, and this is the final outcome of these gorgeous vintage nightstands. Hope I was able to preserve these vintage beauties, and I hope I was able to do the justice with them. If you like what I did here, leave your positive comments, and please do subscribe to my channel. I will have another video next Friday at 2 p.m. Central. Till then, take care. Bye.